Walken, and any and all photos that are not Michael Clark Duncan. Because I didn't know the SEAL one was out. There was another one, and it's like Wesley Snipes or some shit. Another guy with a rig on his head who's going to go bald in a minute. You watch.
Who, Wesley Snipes?
Did he go bald yet?
No.
That shit is like held together with tape and air fresheners.
You know what? I don't say nothing about Blade, because that's my dude.
What about Steven Dorff? He was in Blade.
Steven Dorff. I saw him at a party. I saw him at one of these, it was one of these weed functions. It was one of these, what do you call it? It was down in Malibu at that
Weed or we?
Weed? No, it wasn't a dispensary. It was an award show.
Weed Awards?
High Time Awards.
Yeah.
It's called High Time Awards. That's why I met Steven Dorff, man.
You smoke grass?
I was a presenter. I used to until I fell in love for a second time. Then I gave it up. But I was,
Was that an order from the boss saying if you're going to be with me, you're not going to smoke grass every day and sit around watching commercials for Everest College?
Pretty much.
Really?
And I made a choice.
But you don't miss it.
I don't miss it.
Who gives a fuck?
You
I miss
smoke?
drinking beer more than I miss smoking pot.
You don't drink beer?
I haven't drank since 1998.
Really? Yeah, I heard you used to drink a lot, dude.
Yeah. I never heard anyone just say that. That's hysterical.
See, I told you,
that.
man, I'm that dude. I'm going to tell you the truth. But yeah, that's what I heard. And I heard when you got the Bob Sugar part, and I heard you went up to SNL and you was like, yo, kiss my ass.
No.
Heard you up to SNL in a suit.
I wore a suit whenever I did stand-up for like 4 years because my act was so dirty. I thought the only way I can get away with saying it was crazy.
You stuff like, and then she jizz all on your face.
It was just absurd dirty. It was ridiculous. And I was like, if I wear a suit, it'll be a weird, like, smashing together of these two worlds. Like, well, he's dressed nice, and then, like, you ever be eating ass? It was disgusting.
Do you sell out everywhere you go?
No. I mean, on the nights you're supposed to, sure.
Yeah.
But then sometimes you go, the economy's weird, and then there's just some towns, like Ontario is just hard to sell out, like on the Inland Empire. And there's, like, some towns are just hard, and there's other towns like Irvine, it always sells out. And like Brea always sells out. And like Phoenix, I didn't sell out. Denver,
you didn't sell out. Was it Stand Up Live, the new one or the old one? The old Improv, right?
The old one I used to sell out. The Improv in Tempe I used to sell out.
Stand Up Live, October 4th, Finesse Mitchell in Phoenix. I'm going to be there. Y'all want to be there. You don't want to miss it. Thursday, one night only.
That's a nice club, man.
It is. I heard Joe put together a really nice club.
Tim and Willie, you got to get on that.
Okay, I'm going to go do that.
What?
But you never smoked either?
No, I smoke every day.
Okay.
Loke every day. And I talk bitches with my nigga Dr. Dre.
There it is.
I did it the whole time.
Did you smoke now?
No.
He's quit.
I quit. I gave it all up.
Nick told you to quit?
No. I just realized if I keep smoking, I'm full of shit.
Right.
So I can't give advice to people if I'm like, I'll be right back, bro. Let me just give you this advice.
But what if you're giving them advice about smoking?
But I wasn't. I was giving them advice about not smoking.
Oh, okay. So you want to be a hypocrite.
Yeah, and plus, when you have a baby, you can't get high anymore because all you worry about is, are they still breathing? And no matter how much you're enjoying your high, here's the greatest thing. At 40, the best thing you can do high is watch football on the West Coast at 10 o'clock in the morning with a fresh pot of coffee, some bacon and eggs, and you just sit there high as fuck watching your favorite team on DirecTV, where you get to pause it and go through a play and go, this motherfucker missed a block. Look at this shit.
I mean, I know. But
John Connor of the Jets, I'm like, he should just be cut. This guy's waving at shit. He's a fullback. That's his only job. And you see a guy like, man, Tim Tebow caught an onside kick. Look at the hands team is the hands team. Like you get that was my favorite thing in the world to do. And you realize like, well, and then like just after a while you realize you can't, then if you have a baby, all of that you're doing, your fun shit, or if you go to a concert and smoke grass, you're like, fuck yeah. And you're like, I wonder if the baby's breathing.
Right.
Is the baby breathing?
I used to smoke and I used to love to listen to music. I used to love to really get into people's lyrics or be at a live concert. It would just make it all that much more better for me. But now I gave it all up because, like I said, it wasn't worth it. And, you know.
I got so high once.
Go ahead.
And I listened to Love and Happiness probably 50 times in a row because, like, first of all, it's just like the perfect song. Because everyone always talks about how love will make you do right. Love will make you do wrong, but Brother Al's the first guy to tell you it'll make you do right too. and he says words like victory and shit, like a love song with Victor. Like it was just one of those days, beautiful day. I was driving around Malibu, like fuck. Make you do right, make you come home. It'll make you come home early. It was just one of those highs where I was just tripping out like, fuck, no one wrote that shit ever then or since. Like, love will make you come home early. Like the good square shit, like nerd shit. Like, I'll just be home on time. I'm so in love. And then, like after the 10th time where I'm like, okay, I'm over it. I hear those ladies, love and happiness. And I just bugged out at how completely produced and perfect those ladies were just dropped into that song.
I want to say this to all your listeners. If you are 40 and over and you're listening to Jay Mohr and you still smoke grass, shame on you.
What?
Shame on you.
That's the whole audience, you asshole.
I know, but shame on you. Jay don't want you as an audience, and I don't want you either, because you're wasting your life. Get in love, fall in love, and do right by your kids.
Let me tell you something. I want you guys listening right now to get higher than a giraffe's ass and come see me do stand-up comedy. I want the whole audience full of potheads, and I want everybody to go see Finesse Mitchell, and I want you to blow pot smoke up onto the stage like it's a goddamn Black Uhuru concert.
You know what? If you're going to be in Phoenix October 4th, that's a Thursday, and you going to happen to be high, and I want you to test me. I want you to throw weed on stage and see what I do. I bet you I won't even touch it. All you potheads, come on out. Stand up live.
Do you meet everybody after the show?
Yeah, I meet and greet, shake hands, sell DVDs. So
let's say they go like, hey, man, I really liked your show. And they shake your hand and you realize, maybe there's a little joint in your hand. What do you do then?
I do what any person that stopped smoking would do. I say, thank you very much for this, but I don't smoke, man. I appreciate you.
You should push him to the ground and say, man, what the fuck do you think kind of person I am?
I used to do that, but,
gathers around all the white people from Prescott.
You know what? Just try me, people. Try to put weed in my hand and see what I do.
So what
October 4th.
What is Ant Farm? How do you get a job in the Disney Channel?
You know what? I didn't want to go, dude. My manager told me about it, and he was just like, yo, Disney Channel, the casting people was excited that you're coming in, and now you're telling me that you don't want to go. I'm like, how am I going to go from SNL and doing movies and talking dirty in nightclubs to being on the Disney Channel? He was like, Finesse, it's a job. You should go.
Getting good with Disney. Disney runs everything.
Yeah, he sold me that whole story.
You're going to wind up in a movie because of this?
I went in there and I saw Mark Curry and Tony Rock and a bunch of other black cats trying to be the dad.
Same guys from the SNL tape.
Brian Hooks.
Hold on a second.
Guys, yeah.
It's the same guys.
Same dudes.
That were trying to get on SNL, your dream job at the same time.
Same people, man. And I went in to do my part and I was going to tank it, but then I realized it was one of those auditions where it was a test, like you were going straight to network.
Right.
And the kids were in there. And the kids got me so excited because they were like, oh, Finesse, we loved you on BET Comic View. We're big fans. And I was like, oh, snap. I was going to really just tank this thing on purpose. But I just thought it was a casting director. Man, I walked in that audition, Jay. It was like 20 people in there. It was cameras set up in there. And I was like, Finesse, don't embarrass yourself. So I tried to get the best read possible. And next thing I know, I got the job.
And what do you play on it?
There's this new star. Her name is China Ann McClain, and I'm the dad. So she came from the Tyler Perry House of Pain show, and Disney gave her her own little Raven Simone, Hannah Montana.
Oh, she's a little
deal.
Girl? I'm not going to lie to you. Like, I've seen it. It's good. I don't know what the fuck the show is about.
She can sing, dance. She's the new star on the Disney
Is she
channel.
Obnoxious?
No, sweet as can be.
Did you know, like, kid stars can be fucking
total opposite.
Other level
She comes
obnoxious.
to work with a big smile. She says thank you to everybody. She's one of the people where I can say her parents got it right.
Do you like Disney kids on other shows, or just the Disney kids on the show that you're on?
I only like the Disney kids on my show. I don't follow any other show on Disney. I just follow Ant Farm.
You're a company man.
Yes, sir. I mean, I don't care what.
But you don't have kids.
I don't have kids.
It's on my house all the time. And when
Disney
I watch,
Channel?
and the Nickelodeon shows, and like there's this new thing people write for these kids. Remember, like back. I know you don't remember because you weren't alive, but you know what I'm talking about. In the 70s, in the black shows, that like Good Times, Sanford and Son was real. Like that was black. It was authentic, right? Okay. Good Times, That's My Mama. There was like old Jewish guys writing for black people like, hey, you jive turkey. Like it was bullshit. Now you got like grown-ups writing on Nick Jr. I'll leave Disney out of it. And they're just writing, these kids just act like assholes. Mm-hmm. Like on The Sweet Life on Deck and Kim Possible, they're like, nice try, Mom. Like if my kid said that to me, I'd be like, why are you calling me Mom? First of all.
And
then
what
second
do you
of all,
see?
I was quick. And then second of all, I'd be like, that's a little fresh, my man. Coming at me like that with that fucking Bieber haircut. What's wrong? Why does every kid actor have a Bieber haircut?
And worse, you don't see the parents at all. So it's like, we're about to go to the mall. And I'm like, you 12.
Or you see the parent and you're like, not with David DeLuise, you ain't. That's some bullshit.
Man.
Who cast David DeLuise, a blonde-haired Italian guy, to be the father of 4 Mexican kids?
Somebody told me the other day.
Nothing?
No.
All right.
No.
Wizards of Waverly Place.
I don't watch none of them things, man.
All right.
I don't watch Selena Gomez. I don't watch
iCarly.
I don't watch none of it. I don't know who the stars are. Like I see them and I know they big on Disney, but I can't tell you what show they belong on.
They're like they are big. It's weird.
Huge.
Like country western big when you like someone you've never heard of. It just sells out. Mm-hmm. Everywhere they go, and you're like, who the fuck's Trace Atkins?
My lady was telling me that one of the X Factor judge is a Disney star or a Nick star.
Who is it? Do you remember who it is?
X Factor chick.
Demi Lovato.
I don't know that name.
I only know her name from like the tabloid saying she has like an eating disorder and stuff. Uh-huh. But I don't know who she is. I wouldn't know her if she walked in this garage and said, hey, man, could you guys spare a square? I would say, well, I don't know.
I was like, why did they choose her? Oh, she's a big Disney star. I'm like, oh, okay. So now the Disney stars get to pick who the next pop icons are?
They do. So you get down to the list of 6 people from that tape of all the black comics. Mm-hmm. All right. And you were surprised.
Going back to SNL?
Yeah, we'll bring it full circle and then we'll get out of here and we'll go someplace that you won't remember where you were tomorrow.
Uh-huh.
So you were surprised that Kevin Hart didn't get it. When it gets narrowed down,
I don't think Kevin Hart was in the running.
All right, but you were surprised. JB Smoove.
JB Smoove. It was. I mean, when I say everybody, damn near everybody. Bro.
So JB's the one guy that sticks out where you're like, how did he not move forward?
JB Smoove. They hired him as a writer. You know, so he came on as a writer, and it was just me and Keenan that they said to be cast members. And for years, at least for a year, everybody thought I was Kel because my last name is Mitchell. So it was like, they hired Keenan and Kel. Yeah. So every time I met somebody, nobody knew me because I was a pure stand-up. They saw me doing stand-up.
Did you have to go to New York to do stand-up in Studio 8H?
Yes.
In the cameras and everything?
I did stand-up New York. In one audition, and then Studio 8H.
And Rob Riggle said he had to have a political person, like a regular celebrity impression, and then an original thing. What was the guidelines for you or did you have any?
They said you got 7.5 minutes. Be funny. And
really?
That was it.
And you just did stand up?
I did stand up, but my stand up bit was a ghetto girl named Starkeisha who found out that the movie Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon had subtitles. So when she found out she had to read for 2.5 hours, she was pissed off. So that was my whole bit.
That made it on the air.
They said, all right, you're going to do Starkeisha, you know, and I was like, all right. And then it wasn't until I got on the show when it was like, who else can you do? And I was like, I don't know. And then we had Hilary Swank come on. It was like, okay, the movie where she was the boxer. Yeah, so it was like, you're going to be Morgan Freeman. And I was like, I don't do Morgan Freeman.
You're black.
You want to be on the show, you're going to do Morgan Freeman.
Yeah.
So next thing I know, the next week I was like, I'm Morgan Freeman. And I don't like driving Miss Daisy. I like riding Miss Daisy. And it was like, perfect. That's it.
Did you find that the writers assumed you could do people just because you were black? Like,
no,
hey,
it was just
Michael Clark Duncan died. You'll do him, right?
It was just more or less like, you know what? We're going to have this person on the show next week, and it would be really cool if you could be Kobe Bryant. And I'm like, okay. So what do I got to be? Just act like you just screwed somebody in the butt in Colorado.
We'll put a 24 on you, and we'll say, hey, look, everybody, it's Kobe Bryant. Yeah. It really is, because I did Ricky Lake once in a sketch, and it's for some reason it'll still be like in my bio, and when I'm on radio, they're like, do Ricky Lake. I'm like, I don't fucking do Ricky Lake. I was wearing a dress.
Yes.
And when you wear a dress and they go, here's Ricky Lake, everybody, then people just think you're doing Ricky Lake.
I get that. Oh, we love your 50 Cent impression. do 50 Cent. And I was like, they just put me in a bulletproof vest and put a hat,
And
baseball
they said, here
hat.
comes 50
And I was
Cent.
like,
Did they say, here comes 50 Cent?
Yes, yeah. They was like, this is 50. And I'm like, hey, I'm 50. And that was it. That was me just talking with my mouth grinding a little bit. And this is my 50. But they was like, they said do Andre. And I could do Andre because I was like, yeah, I'm Andre 3000 from Outkast because I know how he talked. You know what I mean?
Give me more of that. That's so good. I'm in my car right now. Bro, my mom.